Final video here for the cell phone cover, and so I'll just go for it and finish this up. More cutouts, so we have a bottom cutout. I'm going to go ahead and click on that face, sketch it, and I might dare to do a center point rectangle in this case because I want to make sure this is symmetric. I just opened this up almost to as big as I dare at the bottom to make room for the speakers and a plug. You don't ever want to have it so you can't get a charging plug in there. So that looks about right to me. And I'm going to go ahead and extrude remove. I'm just going to go and finish this also, this cutout. And I'll use the 2-point rectangle. I'm going to tip this thing up a little bit when I do this to the point I gotta see. I can see those buttons in the background over here. See that? So I'm gonna click. I'm gonna go to the northern side or the top edge of where that silence button is, and now drag this to below where that other rectangle was that I put in the background. Something like that. Okay, and I might dare to pull that up just a little bit. Gives the phone a little bit more strength on these edges. If it's too big, then the phone loses its strength and gets really soft here at the bridge. Um, there we go. And lastly, the phone or the camera cutouts. If you have your sketch up here, your image sketch, you can. One of the things you can do is a lot of times you can drag stuff around in the timeline, and it helps to move that image later on in the timeline, so that if I want to then edit it, so I click on it, do it from the top, and move it around, I'll still see the phone. Now, one very important thing I want to point out here is that. Just trying to get this position right. Um, the camera, this image is backwards basically. The camera is actually over here on the right hand side. So traditionally, how I've done this is, I'll show it to you, um, is mirror this over, and you can pick. See how it will pick a midpoint naturally when you hover over that any line. It'll highlight the midpoint. So I just put a vertical line element right there, and that'll be my mirror plane. Um, Now I'm going to do a 2-point rectangle of basically the outer edges of this camera cutout. I didn't quite get enough of it over here, so I'm going to go ahead and try and move that. And the reason it's not moving is because it locked it at that point. It thought that's what I wanted, but I didn't want that. And now this one. So actually, I'm just going to stop fighting this and just Control Z, and I'm going to go ahead and make that rectangle. See, it thinks I may want to start that rectangle at that line. That's why it highlights it, but I don't. So I purposely pick around that line, and I'm going to do the same thing over here so that it doesn't create automatic constraints or rules onto the sketch. And now I can just kind of come in here and grab it. Same with this one up here. I can kind of come over here and grab it. And I'm going to dare to lower that a little bit more, as well as pull that in just a little bit more. And then I'm going to do this tool. We'll put a fillet or a round edge. I'll show it to you. This one is called the sketch fillet. If I click that line and that line, you see how it puts in a fillet. I left click to accept that. I'm going to do that again, left click, do that again, left click, do this again, left click. Okay. Oh, I forgot to show you the mirroring element. And so, again, I'm going to hover over. Uh, I need that midline. Again, I just need to create one there. All right. And then mirror. So pick that line, and it says, then what do you want to mirror? And I select all this stuff. All right. Now I got it actually moved over to the correct side of the cover. And this stuff here, I can delete. The other. There we go. Now I need to pick it, and it's not highlighting it for me. Um, and it may be because I kind of did a mistake there, and I put that sketch right on top of this image. I didn't really mean to do that. I'll show you how to fix that. So I want to sketch a new sketch on the top plane, and I wanted that rectangle. So what I'm going to do is actually use this use tool. It's handy. Anything in the background you can click on, and it will put that on your current sketch. So it'll put that on my new sketch. Okay. And then I can also go back to this image, and I'm just going to, Control Z, I didn't mean to do that. And I keep accidentally picking off all of that. I'm going to delete that out. Okay. Now, this sketch turned red because it lost all of that reference that I created this copy from. See all these? But I'm just going to, what we can do is kind of go in and delete all those. I'm just going to ignore that right now. And I'm going to right click and show you a trick. When you're hovering over something that's not highlighting, you can hit select other, and you can go try and find it from this list. And there it is. And then I use it to extrude, remove. And I think it's just going the wrong way, so I'm going to flip it. Oh, sorry, it doesn't know what it's removing from, so I'm going to highlight in here and select the case, and then I'll flip the direction. There we go. There it is. Again, I think that I would go in there and put some chamfers, maybe some fillets, actually round this edge out, because otherwise you're going to have a very weak structure there. It's going to bend at those sharp angles. So you want to improve the strength of this, and I can pick them all at the same time. And then over here, I would probably dare to do the same chamfer as I did over here. I'm going to even see if I can go get that and that and just drag those to the end of the timeline. So I'm going to try this. Come on, you can do it. And then I can just update them and add that edge. And that way they're going to be matching that edge to that chamfer and that edge and around that edge. So now those two sides match. Okay, how's that look, everybody? The last thing I do, and this video is already at 10 minutes, but I'll go ahead and show it to you, okay? Since you're bothering to watch, I'm going to make sure I don't skip anything, because this can really be the coolest part of the phone. I put my logo on it. So if I click on this face, I can sketch and I can put in text. Drag out. And in this case, you can change, there's limited amounts of font, by the way. So, but you can see that it has, it's got quite a few. And then this brand I'll call Sigma as an example. And you can see how it put in that text crooked or up. And I'm going to show you how to change it and size it. So you have to go to the one way to do this, actually. There's two ways. The transform will do it. And then if I click on this, you'll see I can get the option to rotate this 90 degrees. Now, the other thing I can do real quick is just dimension it. So I know that really has to be under 3 inches. Or you see, actually, I can make it bigger. I can try and squeeze it a little bigger, but I like that. That's good. And it's got it locked into this position. I'm going to go ahead and hit the show constraint, and I bet it's going to be one of these points. No, it didn't have it locked. There we go. So I can move that over. We can do a couple things with text, but in this case, maybe all I'll do is click on it and move like that for this example. Maybe you realize this or not, but this will probably be weak if we do this, and this A will drop out completely because I've cut that all the way through. So that would be an issue. So one thing I could actually try and do is not go all the way through and just type in. I think I made this 2.5 millimeters, so I could go down maybe to 2 millimeters like that. And then it doesn't go all the way through. And then one other trick I can do that I like to do for image, you can draft and change the angle of the, and change the direction of the draft. And I can go for a little bit more draft, angle of the extrude, and I'll show you that's what it kind of gives it a better look when you angle those faces down a little bit. There we go. Now we're ready to print, and that'll be the next thing we do with this project. We'll take this body down here, we're going to right click, and we're going to export it. You're going to share that with me when you're all done and I approve your design, and then we can send that to the printer and start to set up for print. Okay.